Alright, what's up everybody? It's Ian and I am back hanging out with Richard, and today we are talking Overwatch, more Overwatch news and patch notes, because it seems like a lot of stuff just changed. How's it going, Richard?
It's going pretty good. How you doing, Ian?
Oh, I'm here. Living the dream, I guess. So, let's just hop right into it, man. A couple days ago we got news about Orisa. What do you think about her?
Honestly, it's nice to get a new tank into the game, because you kind of been needing a new one to fit in different slots.
Yeah, kind of need a new one for reasons, because honestly, to me, like the tanks that we have, I love playing them. Diva and Roadhog are like two of my favorite characters. And I've been playing a ton of Zarya, but they're starting to just kind of get stale.
Yeah, they are. Like in certain maps that they did real great, certain recent updates, starting to kind of make them not as great in the maps anymore.
Yeah, and it's definitely frustrating. It's definitely frustrating. But we just got the teaser announcement trailer thing for Orisa, and I've seen a bunch of like PTR footage of Orisa being played and stuff like that. I haven't myself played her, but she looks like she's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, literally a blast.
Yeah, so I actually have her. I have her kit pulled up right here. So her primary fire weapon is the fusion driver. It's a linear projectile, does 12 damage per pip. Moves at about 2.75 meters per second. Projectile speed is 66.66 meters per second. 12 rounds per second. Holds up to 200 rounds. Takes 2.5 seconds to actually reload, and it can headshot. So 200 rounds makes me think mobile Bastion.
Yeah.
Mobile beefy Bastion.
I mean, the only downside is that while she's firing, she moves a little bit slower.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about it, but it's alright. You're a tank. You don't need to move fast.
Yeah, as a tank, you don't really need to be like flying across the map. That's what you have. Sombra and Tracer for, to get up in their face and distract them while the tanks get into position. Next up on her kit, we have Halt. Again, it's a linear projectile. Projectile speed of 20 meters per second. Area of effect is 7.5 meter radius. It takes 0.3 seconds to actually cast, and it has an 8-second cooldown. It's kind of like a mini Zarya ult from what I'm reading.
Yeah, it's basically a mini Zarya ult that you can't control when it detonates. And it's also technically her alt fire.
Okay. Yeah, so she fires a slow, straight-moving projectile that does no damage. Activating this ability again pulls all affected enemies into the center and briefly slows. That's kind of cool. To have a actual big AOE CC.
If you aim that correctly, you can pull up people in for say a Diva ult or a Junkrat.
Ooh.
I mean, nasty.
Oh, I see combos. That's gonna make some people rage. Moving right along here, just because we don't want to spend all day talking about Orisa's kit and cool combos that she can pull off. This is the one, to me, that kind of makes her entire kit. Her Fortify. So, it's a self-shield, damage reduction of 50%, duration of 4 seconds, cooldown 10 seconds. Description saying Orisa temporarily reduces damage she takes and cannot be affected by action impairing effects. So she has a shield that reduces 50% of damage incoming. That also makes her CC immune.
Yeah. So she can't be slapped by Anna. She can't be knocked around by Diva. She can't even be concussion mined by Junkrat with his stuff.
I'm so excited to play this character.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Another cool thing about it that I found out is if you're running around as Orisa and you run into a Junkrat trap, if you activate it, it'll immediately break the trap so you can keep going.
Okay, well, you can use it as a cleanse, too.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure if it works for other ones, like a Zarya ult or a Reinhardt ult. If you get hit with that, you can cleanse right out of it. I'm not sure.
I would hope you couldn't, because that just seems
that seems like she just shuts everybody down at that point. You just hold on to your shield until you get CC'd, and then you use it, and oops, now nobody can do anything, and you just put a whole bunch of ults on cooldown.
Oh, I can't wait to play her. Alright, so she also has a protective barrier. So it's an arcing projectile. Barrier has a health of 900. Lasts for 20 seconds. Has a 12-second cooldown. So it's like a ranged Winston shield.
It's more like a Reinhardt shield. It's like a wall you put up.
Oh, okay. Okay, but you can still like check it out. Have it set up somewhere.
Yeah, you can aim. It can be drop it at your feet or aim it a little higher and drop it a little farther down. Tell you to push.
That's not bad. This device cannot be deflected by Genji nor destroyed by D.Va's defense matrix. The barrier itself is shaped like a football net, and Orisa can see the barrier's health on her user interface, just like Reinhardt with his barrier being active. Okay, so do we know if friendly characters can move through it?
Yes, they can move through it freely.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Okay, so you're not going to have, like, Thule Orisa players being like May Part 2 and just blocking off doorways and pissing you off?
No. That would be funny, though.
I'd be so mad. Team Wall Builder. Okay, so moving along here, we have her ultimate ability, which is Supercharger. Supercharger, health 200, damage is an extra 50%. It's an area of effect of 25-meter radius. It takes 1 second to cast, lasts for 15 seconds. Charge required 1,500 points. So it takes a little bit to get there, but it ups your damage by 50% for 15 seconds. That's a huge push tool, or a huge clear the point tool.
Also very handy if you got a Reinhardt with his shield. You could drop your shield, and you can, everyone just shit on everything.
Ugh.
Hold the point.
Hold the point. Alright, so description on this is Orisa deploys a device that increases damage inflicted by allies within her line of sight. The device can be destroyed by enemies to end the duration early. The damage boost effects will stack with Anna's nano boost, but will not stack with Mercy's damage boost. This device can be hacked by Sombra, which stops it from boosting anyone, and hostile barriers also break line of sight. So, it says hostile barriers. Does that mean like Reinhardt shield, Winston shield, other Orisa shield? I would assume May wall would break line of sight because you can't see through a wall.
Yeah, that would be good if you're playing against Orisa and she drops her ult. If you can get behind her, drop a shield or a May wall to cut off their extra damage. Then you could really take out that generator.
Alright, so now that we've talked about her kit, when she comes out, how do you think she's going to fit in the meta?
Currently, I think she'd be able to strongly counter like a Bastion meta.
Yeah, after, because we're going to talk about it here in just a couple minutes with the changes that's happened to a bunch of people, but the changes that happened on this last patch to Bastion, it's killing me, man. It's killing me. It's driving me nuts.
I feel you, man.
Yeah, so just looking at this, it looks like, I'll agree with you, it looks like she's going to be some really strong counterplay to Bastion. On that note, let's hop right on over into some patch notes, shall we?
Yeah.
So, first one up on the hero updates for the patch notes, it would be Ana. And really all she's getting is a nano boost sensitivity. So they're allowing players to adjust nano boost's targeting sensitivity. So that means I would assume you're able to kind of like weave it through people.
Yeah, you can actually hit your target so you're no longer accidentally boosting a Lucio or Mercy.
Right? Mercy, you're powered up, get in there. Okay, I have my Mercy blaster.
Pew, 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 pew.
Allow me to shine a flashlight at you for a minute. Just click, 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 click. So that's all that Anna's getting. This is the big one from the patch for me. Now we're talking about Bastion.
Oh god, Bastion.
So, just going to go right down the patch notes here and we'll talk about him once everything's set, okay? So, for his Sentry configuration, reconfiguration time decreased from 1.5 seconds to a second. Bullet spread increased by 50%. Bullet spread is always at maximum. It no longer increases as weapon is fired. Magazine size increased from 200 to 300. No longer deals crit damage. Then, in his recon form, bullet spread decreased by 25%. Magazine size increased to 25 from 20. His self-repair can now be used while moving. Now bound to secondary fire, formerly ability 2. No longer interrupted by taking damage. A new resource meter has been added that depletes while the self-repair is active and recharges when it's not in use. And configuration tank, so his ultimate, no longer grants bonus armor, but new passive ability is called Ironclad, and Bastion takes 35% less damage while in Sentry or Tank configuration. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute.
Just goddamn.
Just completely changing our lonely robot friend. So just the fact that they made his heal able to go off while he moves, that is huge. Because it used to be like playing Bastion, you had to make the choice: do I just keep firing, or do I stop fire to try and heal for a second and hope for the best? But now it's okay. I've taken some damage. Let me switch out into recon and run away for a minute and heal. Just the amount of repositioning and utility that allows him is absurd.
It also adds to his survivability. Like now that he can heal while he's moving, and the heal is not interrupted by damage, you can technically tank some damage while you're fleeing.
Yeah, exactly. So between the self-repair, they buffed the amount of ammo that he has all the way around.
Yeah.
They've made his recon form more accurate, and they've made his tank or his sentry form, less accurate, but he has a whole 100 extra rounds to throw down range at you.
Mm-hmm. And additionally, the spread does not increase. It's always at the maximum.
Yeah, so it's got an extra 50% worth of spread. Okay. If you throw enough lead down range, you're gonna hit something.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Just spray and pray.
Yeah.
Spray and pray.
That's exactly right. So maybe we're putting a little too much faith or a little too much hate into these, like into the Bastion patch notes as of right now. I've only played against them a couple times. Me and I think you were there, and our buddy Malfoy. We were all playing 3v3s. And we just kept getting just dumpstered by Bastions, but
yeah.
I hadn't read the patch notes yet. Knowing what I know now, I don't think it's going to be as bad, knowing that there are limitations to what he does. He's not just God Robot again.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting, when he ults, now that he has no more bonus armor, we can actually stay calm a little bit more and take him out quickly before he kills us.
Yeah.
So Diva got a buff to her defense matrix. Projectiles no longer have a minimum distance that they need to fly. May is now targetable while in cryo freeze. That's pretty handy.
Extra healing for her.
Yeah. Mercy.
She's another big one that happened on this patch. What do we got on Mercy, Richard?
Well, they added, so now when she ults with the Resurrect, she temporarily becomes invulnerable from all damage while reviving her allies.
Oh my god. So you no longer have Suicide Mercy where she jumps in and ultimately gets herself killed, but land that sweet 5-man res.
Yeah.
So now Mercy jumps in, lands that 5-man res, and walks away.
Yeah, so it add more to a great comebacks.
Ugh. Riot, please.
Additionally, players are allowed to adjust the target sensitivity of Guardian Angel.
Okay, which makes sense. I mean, I don't know how many times I've had like 3 people on the ground that I'm trying to res, but I'm looking slightly to the left and I only pick up one. Like that's always frustrating. Zenyatta can no longer be targeted while he's ulting, so Zenyatta is no longer a viable target while Transcendence is going on.
And it actually would be helpful. Like, if you're playing as Mercy and the Zenyatta ult, you're not accidentally healing or buffing him while you're supposed to be healing someone else.
Yeah, like, I can see that. That's a good quality of life buff. Or a good quality of life fix. I'm not even going to call that a buff. Yeah, and along with the Guardian Angel sensitivity, it looks like we're also getting some beam sensitivity fixes, kind of like with Ana's Nano Boost sensitivity. Like, along those lines, it looks like.
Yeah.
Roadhog got his... I feel like Roadhog just got nerfed all the way around on this patch.
Yeah, I'm not really happy with it, because I'm technically a Roadhog main. I just don't like it. Like, his scrap gun, his spread was decreased by 20%, and his hook, targets are now be pulled by like a full 1.5 meters away, but the cooldown's increased from 6 to 8, which is not that bad. But the thing is, when you hook someone, Roadhog technically should be able to like one-shot most squishies. But now we're seeing, like, say, Lucio's get away with only 2 ticks of health. Tracer's getting away, and even Mercy's getting away when Roadhog hooks them.
That happened to me so many times last night, and I don't know if it's just because I'm bad, or if it's because, like, this change has legitimately decreased the amount of damage that he can do. Because he was one of the more, because of the hook headshot combo, he was one of the more bursty damage tanks. It makes me sad to see that he can't just, like, burst people down real quick.
Yeah.
Like, you played Roadhog when you needed, when they had that one damage dealer, and you just needed to be able to pull him out of the fight and put him on cooldown.
Yeah, now it kind of seems that Roadhog's been moved to a kind of like an executioner point, where, like, he has to target, like, the more damaged enemies to hook and cook before it can actually get kills. Because most people would survive.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but...
What can you do?
We'll learn, I guess. So moving on, Sombra had her hack sensitivity. She can now work on that, which is awesome. I like that they're giving us all these sensitivity options. It's really nice to actually be able to say, I don't like the way that works, let me change it.
Yeah. It'll make playing a lot of heroes a lot easier. Like, for me personally, I suck ass as McCree. I can't hit the broad side of a barn. But now, I think he also got a buff to sensitivity, so I could adjust and maybe hit my targets more often.
I would hope so. So, moving on from Sombra, because that's really the only thing that she got. Symmetra, her damage was, like, her sentry turret damage was buffed from 21 damage per second to 25.5 damage per second. That's going to make her hurt a whole lot more, because you get all 6 turrets firing at you, each one dealing 25.5 damage per second. That's just, it's going to get nasty.
Mm-hmm. It'll be great on the Capture the Flag maps, which is newly added, by the way. It'll be helpful to take out tanks who rush in to distract turrets.
Yeah, so it's going to help melt them down a little bit more.
Next is Torbjorn.
Yeah, we got Torbjorn, which I'm kind of, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with this, too.
Yeah.
Looks like a faster reload animation for him. And additionally, looks like his turret, his damage got buffed from 10 ticks per hit to 12.
Which I'm super okay with. Recently, I've kind of turned into a Torbjorn one-trick. Any chance I get to play Torbjorn, I'm going to play our dwarfy friend. I'm actually pretty stoked about this. Just to be able to set up, have a little bit more damage, a little more consistent damage, I feel like.
Yeah. Especially with the rivet gun, now that the reload is a little bit faster by the looks of it. You can fire more often and keep that damage coming to hold down the point more easily.
Yeah. And now you're gonna have, like, hopefully, I'll say it, if Torbjorn ventures into that overpowered realm for a little bit, I wouldn't be too upset.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too sad. I lost too many games where I've died trying to reload my rivet gun.
Yes. But if he falls over into that OP category for just a little bit, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I'll be okay with it playing that Torbjorn one trick. So Widowmaker next on the list. She just got a sensitivity fix for her grappling hook.
Mm-hmm.
So making her just a little bit more mobile.
And for your Winston mains out there, this one's for you. His critical hit volume has been reduced by 15%. That means headshots won't do as much damage, making him a more viable tank now.
It's about time. Winston has been one of the, in my opinion, one of the worst tanks. Just because I didn't think that he was worth it, just based on how big of a hitbox he has, and how easy it is to just put him down. Like, sure, he's always good to play into like a Genji, because he has the shield, and you don't really have to aim to be able to hit him, just as long as you're within range and looking at him. But this is gonna make him infinitely more playable, in my opinion.
Yeah, like he went from being like somewhat tanky defense character to a now straight up tank.
Let's see. Moving down the list here, we have Zarya, and she just got a barrier sensitivity fix. So add that to the list of sensitivity fixes. And
finally, we got Zenyatta. Both of his Harmony and Discord Orb sensitivities are able to be adjusted now, so you can land them more easily.
That's handy. I like that.
It's a lot of sensitivity fixes, which is helpful in competitive play.
Yeah, that's always handy. I know that I kind of stopped playing Zenyatta just because I was getting frustrated with trying to land my Discord Orb and it wouldn't fire just because they would like be targeted and then right when I hit it they'd step outside of target. So hopefully this helps. That's everything out of the actual like character patch notes that we wanted to talk about. That's actually all of the patch notes for the characters that we just kind of glossed over. That's kind of that was the big thing that we wanted to talk about today. What else do you want to talk about today, Richard?
We could talk about some changes to certain maps.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
What do you got for us?
For Eichenwald map, during like the last phase of the actual push, when the battering ram breaks through the castle gates, a secondary gate no longer falls down and blocks it off. They now change it so instead of a whole gate, it's just a small pile of rubble they can easily jump around or hop over, allowing for the offensive team more movement options so they can take the point easier. Because at that stretch of the map, the tone switches heavily to the defensive team.
See, and I was kind of okay with it switching heavily to the defensive side, just because, like, it's a castle.
Yeah.
It's built to favor the defenders. But I understand why they switched it. It makes sense from gameplay standpoint. I'll allow it.
Yeah. It's still technically in favor of the defense. There's the offense has a little bit more options going for them instead of getting bottlenecked and absolutely shat on by a well-placed bastion.
True. Very true. All right, are there any other map changes coming our way?
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some out there. If I missed anything, please write down in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah, and don't forget to drop us a like, comment, subscribe. I think we're going to start doing a little more Overwatch news a little more often. Seems like, well, at least we have fun doing it. I hope y'all have fun hanging out with us while we do it. Other than that, come on back. Check us out next time we post something up. Might be talking about, who knows. So, yeah, just come on back or something like that, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Deuces.